Today I'm in the central west region of New South Wales. It's an area of lush green valleys and delightful heritage villages. It's where you'll find ancient fossils, Australia's largest Japanese garden, and a landscape to take your breath away. It's also where you'll find some stories of daring bushrangers and, in Cowra, the site of a bloody mass prison break. Right here is the site of the largest prison escape of World War II and one of the bloodiest. This is the site of the Cowra prisoner of war camp. Back in 1944, during World War II, there was something like 1,100 Japanese prisoners of war held here. They'd been captured mostly during the Pacific Campaign and in Papua New Guinea. In Japanese culture during the war, it was highly shameful to be captured. Death was preferred as an option. So in August in 1944, at 2 in the morning, a bugle sounded, a Japanese bugle sounded, and suddenly 3 mobs of Japanese prisoners stormed the perimeter fence. So approximately 300 Japanese hopped the fence over there and disappeared over the hills. Around on this side, there was a Vickers machine gun station, and they stormed that station and killed the 2 Australian soldiers that were manning that. And then on the other side, this way, a number of Japanese escaped over the fence in that direction. They were armed with knives, baseball bats and improvised weapons, and they threw blankets over the barbed wire fence to scale the fence. It was a brutal and bloody escape attempt. 359 Japanese successfully escaped, 231 were wounded, and 4 Australian soldiers were killed. And many of the Japanese took their own lives, or suffered from self-inflicted wounds to try and prevent being recaptured. Within 10 days, all the escapees were recaptured and brought back to the prisoner of war camp here in Cowra. 231 Japanese died in the escape attempt. And as you walk around the site of the former prisoner of war camp, it's a pretty peaceful place, set in beautiful rolling green hills. You'd never really know that a really bloody battle happened right here. There's not a lot left of the old camp now. As you can see, just some of the bases of what would have been huts and buildings. But there's plenty of interpretive signage, and up by the replica watchtower, there's an audio story giving you all the history of this place. It's a fascinating story and a part of wartime in Australia. And many of those Japanese who passed away at the prisoner of war camp are buried here in the Japanese war cemetery. As is customary, at the entrance to the cemetery, there's some lanterns. They're there to light your way as you pass from one world to another world. All of these lines of plaques have the same date, the 5th of the 8th, 1944. These are the graves of the Japanese soldiers who passed away in that escape from the POW camp. Cowra honours this part of history. It honours the Japanese as well as the Australians. And I believe the last Japanese that was involved in the breakout came to Australia a few years ago to mark a memorial. He's since passed away at the age of 90 something. I think in some strange way, the events that happened at Cowra has brought the Australians and the Japanese closer. Well, it's unseasonal, it's still winter, but there's sakura, which is the Japanese word for blossoms. Maybe it's fitting that here in Cowra, where there was such a Japanese presence, the sakura comes out early. Cowra marks the Japanese connection to the town with a beautiful Japanese garden. It's the largest in the Southern Hemisphere. And after the awful events of 1944, this garden stands as a symbol of reconciliation and peace. I went to a number of traditional gardens in Japan when I was there, and they're beautiful, and it's a beautiful space for appreciating the beauty of nature and also for quiet reflection. And this garden also serves that purpose. It's a lovely place, lots of running water, and a beautiful place for admiring nature and quiet reflection. In the middle of town you'll find the Peace Bell. That was put here in 2012. It's a beautiful Japanese bell, and that's here to promote world peace.
The information center and see the amazing
Near the side of the old prisoner of war camp is some beautiful water tank art paying tribute to the Wiradjuri people, who are the First Nations people of this region. And from up here you get a nice view of Cowra on one side and the site of the old POW camp on the other side of the hill. Cowra's about 250 kilometres west of Sydney, and it's surrounded by some beautiful heritage villages. I'm in the town of Canowindra, and if I was going to make a movie set in the old colonial era of the 1840s, this is probably where I'd be doing it. The town doesn't look like it's changed a lot since it sprung up in the 1840s. Once upon a time, it was the town that serviced this entire area with all the necessities. These days it's filled with bric-a-brac stores and cafes, and it's really charming. It's a beautiful little town with a main street that'll transport you back to the late 1800s. I love all these shady verandas you'll find right down the main street and all the beautiful wrought iron lacework you'll find up top. And can I just say, I reckon this is one of the friendliest towns I've ever been to. I'm just walking up and down the main street. I haven't filmed it, but I reckon at least half a dozen people have stopped and said hello and told me things about buildings and about the place here. Really friendly. It's really nice to experience that. Okay, I've just learned I've actually been mispronouncing the name of the town. It's not Canowindra, it's Canowindra. Somehow there's a whole silent syllable in there somewhere. I don't get it, but it's Canowindra. I'll try and remember that. Sorry to the locals for mispronouncing it. Right in the middle of town is the Royal Hotel. This hotel has some stories. There are, I think, 3 old pubs in town. This one behind me has a connection to a bushranger. In 1863, bushranger Ben Hall and his gang rode into town, bailed up the one policeman that was in town, and took themselves into the Royal Hotel here. 2 women ran the hotel at the time, so they got them to make up a nice feast and help themselves to nice drinks of brandy and whiskey and things. And after dinner, asked one of the women to play a few tunes on the piano. And before long, there was singing and dancing and lots of merriment. And then other townsfolk joined them, and they ended up singing and dancing and partying all night long. The event was later spoken of as one of the jolliest affairs that had ever happened in town. Apparently it was such a memorable time, they actually came back twice more that year and did it again. Crazy days. Dropped into Perennial Plants, which is a nursery and a cafe. And this old building apparently, a long time ago, used to be a grocery, and then it was a car dealership. Now it's a cafe with great coffee. Also at the cafe, they sell locally produced sauces and chutneys and kitchenware. Many of the shops in Canowindra's main street are passion projects for creative locals. There's a little bit of everything in this shop. This is a gallery of artist David Isbester. It's in an old bank building. David's a local artist. He's lived in the area for more than 20 years, paints during the week and opens up the gallery on weekends. And it's lovely work. It's work that celebrates the heritage of the area. Also in Canowindra, you'll find the Age of Fishes Museum. This has fossils that are more than 360 million years old. 360 million years old. Almost as old as me. So even though we're a long way from the sea, once upon a time all of this was underwater. These fossils were found not far out of town, and they date back to a time when Australia and Antarctica were still joined. And these fish were around long before dinosaurs. Canowindra's slow pace and quiet charm really appealed to me. I came for 2 days and stayed for 5.
This time I am pretty sure moments passing away I've never seen before. You held me out of the dark.
But I did eventually leave. I was keen to get to Lake Wyangala, about 40 minutes out of Cowra. It's beautiful countryside, rolling green hills and rocky outcrops. It's a joy to drive through here.
From now on,
I'm on my way to Wyangala Dam, and I've just come through a little village called Darby's Falls. And based on the name, you'd think there'd be a waterfall here, right? There's not. Apparently the town was named after some bloke called Darby who fell off his horse. Just thought you should know that. I headed deeper into the bush with a destination in mind. I came down that bumpy road to get to a little spot I saw on the map called Elliot's Lookout, which looks out over the lake. Let's have a see. Oh, what? Yeah, that was definitely worth that little bumpy ride. Oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. It's such a perfect day too. Wow. So glad I came here. Yeah, sometimes it's worth taking a little bit of time to pore over a map and see what's around. And you find beautiful hidden gems like this. This area had a few more gems up its sleeve. Down a very steep road, but it actually wasn't a bad road, so that's okay to drive. I've come to a place called Tanisa Pools. I'm told there's a little waterfall here. Okay, I just have to figure out how to get down there, so we're by the pool and we get a beautiful view of the little waterfall. I could clamber down the rocks, but they're kind of steep. And I don't want to hurt myself because there's nobody else here and there's no reception again. I always find myself in that situation. But if I walk around, I think I'm fine. Yep, that worked. It's sometimes safer to just stop for a moment and look and see what are your other options. And so walking around was a lot safer than trying to clamber down. And now I'm down the bottom of the gully. Oh, lordy mama. What an absolutely magical spot. You've got a swimming pool behind me, one in front of me, and there's even a little sandy beach here next to the waterfall. And I was the only person there, just me and a few contented sheep. Yeah, a lot of happy sounding frogs. I'd be happy too if I lived here. I've come down to the lake because I saw on the maps there are some incredible standing stones down here somewhere. I have to find them. There's no phone service down here. So I'm just gonna have to wander around a little bit. I've parked up in the middle of the track because even though it's been fine to drive down here, now I think we're hitting four-wheel drive territory and Nessie's not gonna like this. So that's all right, I'll leave her there for 10 minutes while I go for a bit of a wander and see if I can find these stones. Plenty of wildlife around here. Seen lots of kangaroos. Sometimes I just love poring over a map, and if you spend a little bit of time, you'll find little things that maybe aren't in the tourist brochures. And these standing stones was one of them. And as soon as I saw a photo of it, I thought, I've got to go there and show you guys. Absolutely beautiful spot. You can camp here. You just need to register somewhere and pay somewhere, which I haven't done because I'm not going to stay the night. I've just come to look at the stones and the falls and the lake, and then I'll keep moving. Yeah, no network at all, so I'm just going to have to follow my nose and find these rocks. I know they're around here somewhere. They're not far away. Just got to push bash a bit. Okay. Oh, found them. Found them amongst the trees. Oh, cool. Wait a minute. Now I'll show you. That's crazy. Two huge pillars just standing on top of each other. It's like a giant's come along and just plopped it on top and put a bit of cement in to keep it in place. But none of that's happened. It's just somehow ended up this way. Wow. And finally I've come to the village of Carcoar. I hope that's how you say it. This is about an hour's drive out of Cowra. Absolutely beautiful. In their tourist brochures they say it's the village that time forgot, and it definitely looks like that. This town was founded in 1833 and it still looks like it's in 1833, almost. What a beautiful sleepy little village. And they tell me it's the most intact 1830s town in Australia. And yeah, I can believe that. Everywhere I look, I can see beautiful old buildings. At the very end of the street, there used to be houses there, but this road comes down a steep hill. So this used to be the main highway, and apparently trucks would come herring down this hill, get straight down to the bottom. Brakes would fail and they plough into the houses at the bottom. So eventually they put it in the 1970s, I think it was, they put a bypass to go around the town. Since then it's been much quieter and nobody's crashing into buildings. That's good. Beautiful old railway station just on a hill overlooking the town. I really want to go in, but I have a feeling it's a private residence, so I think I better not. But I was chatting with a local and they said come up to the railway station anyway, because from the railway station you get a beautiful view overlooking the town. And they are absolutely right. It's a beautiful view overlooking the town, all right. Now I think it's time we went for a little stroll. I'm told we can walk up the railway line because it's not in use anymore, and that'll lead us to something special. And this is what I've come in this direction for, a beautiful old railway tunnel, probably from like the late 1800s, early 1900s. It's abandoned now, so I was told by a local it's okay to actually go into it and wander through, so let's do that. Of course, the locals didn't tell me how long this tunnel is, so I've got no idea. They just reassured me that the line's not used anymore, and it's getting darker and darker as I go in. Alright, it's getting jet black down there. I don't think I'm going to go all the way through because I really don't know how long it is and I can't see anything. But that's very cool to be inside a train tunnel from the 1880s. Awesome. Sometimes just these little things pop up that surprise you, and that makes it fun to be traveling to new areas that I've never been to before. It's great. Having a great day. Daylight. I'm still alive to travel another day. That's cool. Well, I've totally loved my time in this area. Cowra and all these historic villages in the area. There's so much history here. There's so many stories, and it's an incredibly beautiful part of Australia. I'd never really been here before. I'm really glad I came. Thanks so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. It's beautiful countryside, rolling green hills and rocky outcrops. I forgot what I was going to say. This is fun. I love doing this. It's such fun. These are days like today is when I love vlogging. When you come somewhere and you've never heard of it, and then it's full of surprises, like really good surprises.
If I had a boat, I would sail out, take every brother and sister of mine. We'd roll in the sunshine and sleep when it's dark, hoping to find somewhere we can